Zillow has decided to stop buying homes and flipping them for resale.
Zillow announced they'll be shutting down their home flipping business.
As it turns out, a lot of those flips turned out to be flops.
We just determined that being an iBuyer was too risky.
They're losing money. They're losing money.
What's up, guys? It's Jason here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Home Flipping Insight. Today, let's talk about how a huge real estate company was brought down by robots. Well, not literally robots, at least not the Boston Dynamic military robots kind. But the story of Zillow's fall is a tale of hubris and an over-reliance on algorithms. AI may be the wave of the future, but for Zillow, AI may very well be the cause of its destruction. You'll be surprised to learn how this simple home classifieds business transformed itself into $50 billion data-driven AI-reliant home flipping business over the course of nearly 2 decades. $50 billion! The house of cards is now falling with the robots, which might take down the entire company with it. Let's see what's going on and what the future forebodes for Zillow with the 5 fundamental problems with the business model and the home flipping market in the US. Before we begin, if you wouldn't mind just tapping that like button for the YouTube algorithm, I'd really appreciate it, as this is a brand new channel I started this year. If you've ever used Zillow before, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for new videos each week. Thanks for doing that, and now let's continue on with the rise and fall of Zillow in 2022. What is Zillow, and why is it important? Zillow has been making the rounds in the world of financial news lately for all the wrong reasons. They recently announced a fire sale of thousands of properties. Anyone who has drunkenly shopped on Amazon can tell you that online buying can be dangerous. Drunk on their own algorithm and business model, Zillow just found out exactly how dangerous online shopping can be. I don't know if you're like me, but I love to click through Zillow's multi-million-dollar home listings and imagine, what if? If I had all the money in the world, I would buy that 14-bedroom, 20-bath mansion in the Hollywood Hills. The data and real estate listings that Zillow provides are convenient and is the main moneymaker for the real estate company. But the company had a side hustle apart from its main moneymaker. That side business relied on the use of algorithms to help it buy houses and then flip them. The company did a great job of snatching up properties, but it was terrible at the selling part. In late October, the company revealed that its iBuying service, Offers, has been hemorrhaging money to the tune of $300 million in a short few months. Zillow killed the program and is axing about 2,000 people.
The decision to wind down our Zillow Offers iBuying operation involves a layoff of about 25% of the workforce, and that is a heavy.
Zillow has about 7,000 homes that it needs to offload, and the bulk of the homes will lose the company money. You may not have known that Zillow was in the house flipping business. For the bulk of the company's life, their focus was on publishing online real estate listings. In 2018, Richard Barton, Zillow's CEO, pushed the company into iBuying. His master plan included using algorithms to locate homes to purchase and flip. Zillow would swoop in, buy the home directly from the seller, renovate the property, flip the house, and make fat stacks of cash, at least in theory. Barton's vision was to buy 5,000 homes per month by 2024 and generate $20 billion annual of profit. $20 billion! In theory, the plan was sound. In reality, the plan was insane. Looking back, sounds similar to WeWork, doesn't it? As an industry, iBuying is in its infancy. Tech investors are scrambling to be the Amazon of home buying. Companies like Zillow, Redfin, OfferPad, and Opendoor are daydreaming about the future of algorithm-driven home buying. One man's daydream is another man's dystopian nightmare housing crisis. Huge companies with huge piles of cash and mounds of data bidding against normal people seems like the start of a bleak sci-fi movie. Anyone who isn't a tech investor is screwed, but it's not all that simple. Let's explore. Problems with the Zillow business model. There were some problems with Zillow's business model. Zillow problem number 1, TAM. First, you have to know about Steve Eisman. Steve Eisman infamously shorted collateralized debt obligations and turned a huge profit when the US housing market collapsed in 2008. Then in 2009, Eisman predicted dire things for people gambling on Zillow's success. Eisman's big short on Zillow has been going on for a while. Eisman argued,
I would say Zillow has one of the most flawed business models I've seen in a very, very long time.
I would say Zillow has one of the most flawed business models I've seen in a very, very long time. So what is it about Zillow's business model that caused Eisman to short them? In Zillow's 2020 Group Annual Report, the company discussed the total addressable market, TAM or TAM, of the house flipping industry. Their flaw was seeing the real estate TAM as one huge monolith worth $1.9 trillion, but it's more accurate to see real estate TAM as lots of small markets. Eisman reasoned that Zillow would find out that there was an enormous difference between flipping houses between states, even within cities and neighborhoods. Zillow, as a huge company, had no choice but to compete with the local experts who had experience and an intimate understanding of the local real estate dynamics. These local experts had lived and worked in these neighborhoods and had been massaging these markets for years. And it turned out that Eisman was right. Zillow problem number 2, market manipulation. Second, accusations of market manipulation dogged Zillow. A viral, real Nevada-based real estate agent called Sean Gotcher caused a little bit of drama from Zillow. Gotcher claimed that iBuyers manipulated the home buying market. Without naming Zillow, Gotcher explains that a huge company harvested people's data while they were on Zillow's website.
And so that company, they just sit back and they just collect all the data. They just know what zip code is looking at what zip code and how much those people can afford. Everyone's looking at this one zip code and everybody seems to be able to afford this certain amount. And let's say that billion-dollar company uses that information to go into that zip code and start purchasing houses.
Allegedly, the company used the data it scraped from its users to buy up properties in the neighborhoods that people perused. Then, the company bought up all the nearby properties in order to artificially drive up prices. This is definitely unfair. Predictably, Zillow denies these allegations, but in theory, they could, right? Zillow probably did not engage in blatant market manipulation. It wasn't from a lack of trying, though. The company relied on its algorithm to try to outsmart the market. In this case, the market won, but that might not always be the case in the future. Zillow problem number 3, labor shortage. Third, a labor shortage made it difficult to renovate homes. Zillow's COO said in a statement that the company is dealing with problems, especially in construction, renovation, and closing spaces. The company's push to buy up homes, renovate, and flip for a profit ran into a COVID-19-sized snag. Disruptions in the supply chain caused the cost of materials to soar to all-time highs. The demand for homes increased, which drove a further increase in the prices of materials. The prices of wood have come back to earth a little bit, but steel and PVC prices are still astronomically high and in short supply. There is also a debilitating shortage of construction workers. The cost and scarcity of materials, coupled with the lack of workers to renovate homes, made flipping homes exceedingly difficult for Zillow. The supply chain and labor shortage resulted in Zillow getting stuck with 9,800 homes in its inventory and another 8,200 homes in contract. To recoup some of their losses, Zillow is looking to sell 7,000 homes to BlackRock Investing for $2.8 billion. Zillow problem number 4, a algorithm. Fourth, Zillow's algorithm was a pile of trash. Over the past 3 years, Zillow went all in on its home buying bots. The company invested a huge chunk of money, $1 billion, into its offers program. The company was cocksure that offers would generate massive profits using their algorithm to buy and flip homes. Flipping homes is a tricky business, especially during an overheated housing market. The algorithm caused Zillow to overpay for thousands of homes over the summer. Barton, Zillow's CEO, admitted that his company failed to account for home appreciation in their model. Barton noted that they were much higher than they predicted. Over the course of the offers program, the technology that Zillow relied on exacerbated their errors. Zillow shit the bed with their adjustments. They adjusted the program to aggressively bid on properties just as the market cooled. Zillow didn't have the luxury of renting or moving into property like smaller house flippers are able to do. The flips became massive flops. In the end, Zillow listed more than 60% of its homes for prices much lower than it paid. It's not all the bots' fault, though. They were only following Barton's commands. Zillow problem number 5, they didn't understand the home buying experience. Fifth, Zillow fundamentally misunderstood the home buying experience. It's no doubt that people love to house hunt on Zillow, but when it's time to actually buy a home, real estate remains a face-to-face business. Zillow's Zestimates aren't always accurate. It actually quells doubt for a home buyer to visit the actual site of the house. You want to check out the home and the surrounding areas to determine if the home is actually worth what it is being listed. Zillow sent out appraisers to check out homes after the bots made an offer. Those human appraisers were tasked with finding obvious lies and red flags. The bots were calling the shots. So, how has this affected Zillow's bottom line? Zillow's shares have been dropping since February till now, and in the last week, Zillow shares dropped more than 20%. The announcement that Zillow was ending the offers program ensured that the company would continue its death spiral. Since their highest valuation in February, the company's stock has dropped by 2/3. At $65.57, the company's stock is the lowest it has been in 16 months. Its core business model is intact and produces profit, but they still reported a $328 million loss tied up in their iBuying program. Previously, Zillow made money selling homes at higher prices relative to its purchase prices. At the same time, Zillow ramped up its buying. iBuying promised homeowners to sell on Zillow for cash rather than going through a broker. This prevented the seller from dealing with the bidding and closing process, but then the market shifted and supply chains sent costs skyrocketing. As a result, the company found itself bogged down with upside-down assets. What's going to happen to iBuying? Does that mean that this is the end of iBuying? For Zillow, it does. But overall, other companies like Opendoor, OfferPad, and Redfin are in good spots. As Zillow went all in this summer, those other companies took a more measured approach and are doing fine. It does highlight the issue with full automation in the real estate industry, though. iBuying was supposed to be the panacea for sellers who didn't want to deal with the hassles of selling their home. However, it's not really clear if sellers dislike selling their home using the traditional route. Selling your home isn't like selling something on Amazon. You may only do it a few times in your life, and as such, you don't want to drop the ball. Your home is probably the biggest investment you will make in your lifetime, and it makes sense that you wouldn't want to screw it up. So why would you sell to Zillow? It's worth noting that only 10% of buyers accepted Zillow's offers. That makes sense since Zillow did not hide the fact that they were in the flipping business. The only reason that sellers would sell to Zillow is if the company was overpaying, which it was. So with that said, thank you so much for watching my video. There was a significant amount of house flipping that went into making this video possible. If you haven't seen already, check out my Hamburger Insight YouTube series or the rise and fall of McDonald's mascots. As always, stay happy and healthy and stay tuned for another episode of Company Insight next week.